Hi, I'm your host Kelly Bowen, and you are listening to the Lifestyle Finance Australia show, which is dedicated to creating greater awareness about the power of leveraging finance when it comes to accelerating your growth and personal development. And we celebrate the hundreds of coaches, thought leaders, and game changers we support. This is a platform where you can meet some of the world's best experts in online business, trauma healing, digital marketing, relationship coaching, abundance and wealth creation, spiritual ascension, body healing, and wellness. So if you're looking for your next coach, healer, or mentor to take you on the next step in your journey, this is the show for you. Let's play. Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome back to another episode of the Lifestyle Finance Show. Today, I have another really awesome friend with me. When I met her, her energy was absolutely undeniable. I remember my first conversation with this guest. It was dynamic, it was powerful. I left the call going, oh my God, I can't wait to be working with this person and supporting her. She's an absolute badass in the space of network marketing. She's climbed to the top of 2 network marketing businesses. She's now in her 3rd and about to hit the top of that too. She is an all-round inspiring woman. Jo Mould, welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you. What an intro. I am so excited to be here.
Thank you so much, and you are so welcome. So I always like to start these episodes with, let's pretend I don't know anything about you. I don't know anything you do. I'm unaware that today is actually International Women's Day, the day that we're recording this. Could you tell me a little bit about what it is that you do, who it is that you work with, and how you help them get incredible results in what it is that they do?
Of course. And I love that we're recording this on International Women's Day.
Right?
I only work with women for the sole reason that I just love females. I love that we rise up together. I love that we are all about income and impact, or in whatever order, choose your order, right? And I also love that, my mission is to get more money into the hands of more women now. That is what I do. So I work with women in the network marketing space, in the affiliate marketing space. I have a network marketing business. I also have a 7-figure coaching business where I work with network marketers in all different companies all over the world and help them to make more money, but make more money in a badass way, right? I'm all about not being tied to our phone, not being tied to our desk, living a life of freedom, whatever that looks like for us. And to be totally honest, my life didn't always look like it does now. Like, I was in the corporate world for 17 years. I was working 80 to 100 hours a week in a general management role, in a senior executive role in a listed company. I was never at home. I never saw my baby. And by the time the weekend rolled around, well, I was too exhausted to do anything fun.
Yeah.
So my mantra now, like, honestly, if it's not fun, I am not doing it, because my life for so long wasn't fun. And it's not that I didn't love that career and love that job, but I just got to the point one day, and it might come up, we might talk about it somewhere in this chat, but I got to the point that I was like, this is bullshit. I don't want this life anymore. I want more for myself, and I want other women to do the same. And my whole life, ever since I was a teenager, that's probably my first memory that I have of it, but I've just always, I care a lot about people. And I know that sounds so cliche, but I love making people happy. I love seeing them smile. And what I love about the industries that I'm part of is I get to have massive impact. And I get to see that ripple effect. And I love that when women make more money, we do badass things with it.
Yeah, 100%. And I've watched you do this. I watched you create the coaching business. I was there with you at the beginning
You
when we were
were.
like, well, that first call. And I've literally and I've seen these people come through lifestyle finance and to get finance, and I've seen them come back to get it set up to help more women as well, which is, it's just such a beautiful follow-on effect. And you mentioned how, like, you genuinely deeply care about people. It's true, you really do. I've seen this. I've seen you advocate so strongly for women to live abundant lives and to live powerfully. And being that you are in the network marketing space, like I know network marketing can get a bad rap. We support a lot of network marketers through lifestyle finance and helping them, whether it be with like coaching services or
Mhm.
whether it be to purchase products to get into their network marketing business. There's a couple of questions that I'd really like to just dive in and pull the curtains back
Let's do
on.
it.
So my first question to you would be like, the first question is, what made you choose network marketing over all other sorts of business to go from a 9 to 5
Mhm.
into having a business for yourself? Like, what was it that drew you there as opposed to starting your own business from scratch?
Of course. So, like I said, I was in the corporate world, a slave to the man, a slave to the corporate world. My life wasn't my own. And then something happened that made me realize that life can be really short and that I want a fun, big life that I own. And I lost my brother to leukemia. He was 34. He was one of my best
So
friends.
young.
And yeah, so young.
So
And he was
sorry.
so full of life. Like, and he used to say to me, he used to call me Bowen. My full name's Joanne. I used to hate it, but now I would love to hear him call me Bowen. But he used
Yeah.
to say to me, Bowen, you're no fun anymore. All you do is work. And after he passed, I was like, oh, God, he's right. Like all I do is work and I'm not fun. And I was 39 when I found network marketing. And I'm not going to lie, I didn't know what network marketing was. I'd never heard of it. It's not taught in schools. I wish it was. Because once I looked at it, I was lucky enough that someone knew me really well and knew that they needed to show me the full compensation plan. They needed to show me the full opportunity, because showing me how to make side hustle money wasn't sexy. I would have been like, I've got a real job. I don't need that little, right? And I'm really passionate. I teach my teams, I teach my clients, I teach my Yes Life Money community, which is full of network marketers, that they need to understand the money to be able to talk about the money, because there are people out there that people make assumptions that they wouldn't be interested in this industry, but we just haven't worked out a way to talk to them so they would be interested. And when she showed me that I could out earn my pretty big corporate salary, I was like, wow, that looks great. And I know how to develop teams and I know how to build leaders. I've been doing that for years in corporate. So I might as well try and do it for myself. But
Yeah.
actually, I'm going to take out the word try, because I don't try to do anything, I do it. And I just decided to do it. And within 2 years, I didn't need that corporate salary anymore. And I walked away. And I've never looked back. And I chose network marketing because of the leverage. I chose the fact that, I can create teams and build leaders and all the rest of it. And I get paid for their efforts, which is, there is no other industry like that in the world. And, it's an industry where an ordinary person, because I'm just ordinary, can earn an extraordinary income and create an extraordinary life.
Yeah, amazing. And do you think, like, I like that you said how you'd already, I think with network marketing, this is the different, the people that I have seen thrive isn't necessarily they've got a particular skill set coming across. They have a certain kind of infectious attitude or like
Yes.
charisma about them. Like
Yes.
everybody who I've met that's thriving in network marketing, they're
Mhm.
like you. There's just something about them that they're magnetized, they're
Yes.
energetic, they're alive, and it's like they were born for it. So,
Yeah.
and I can totally see why. And you're right, like it's undeniable when you look at some of the compensation plans
Yeah.
with these network marketing companies, and when you do a little bit of research around like which ones compensate you the best and how quickly you can grow and scale, and if you're not wanting to start from scratch, because starting a business from scratch, like it takes something. It's hard work, like being there.
Totally. Yeah.
And even when I bought lifestyle finance, there was still a level of infrastructure within it that I took and built upon. It wasn't like when I was doing my coaching business, that was starting from scratch. And my God, the amount of hats you have to wear, and going into something like network marketing just takes off a whole bunch of hats. Like so you can just
100%. Yes.
focus on some. But I'm curious, in your opinion, like
Mm.
what do you think if somebody was looking at going into network marketing from a character perspective, if you were to
Yeah.
break it down, like
Yeah.
what would you say the character qualities are that really thrive in this space?
Yeah. Yeah. So I love this conversation because like I wasn't always like, people tell me all the time that I'm magnetic, and I'm so grateful for that. But I've grown to be that way. Like, I wasn't always like this. I definitely, and I've been in this industry now in March. Oh, it's March.
Mm.
I've been in this industry for 9 years this month. And next month, it's 7 years since I left the corporate world, since I've had a job. And I was always a powerhouse in the corporate world, but I wasn't magnetic. Like, people weren't drawn to me. Something that I have always had and that I look for in my leaders that I'm bringing in and women that I'm working with is they need to have drive and determination. That's my biggest. If you have drive and determination, you can learn the skills. You need to be hungry. Like, you need to make a decision, not just once, but every single day, that you're going to make it and that you're going to live your yes life no matter what it takes, because far out, like, it's life. We all have shit thrown at us all of the time. But you just have to have the drive and determination and the hunger to work on your business every day, in spite of everything that might get thrown at you that day or that week or that month. And for me, the people that succeed have that. Also, you need to be self-led. Like, nobody from day one, I've had amazing mentors and uplines, and I've paid a lot of money to incredible coaches and programs and all of the things. And I'm absolutely where I am because of all of that, in corporate and in the network marketing and coaching space. But what I look for is something that I have in myself, and it's self-leadership. Yeah. No one ever told me to get to there. I needed to do that. I went and did it myself. And obviously I sought feedback along the way, but I'm not waiting now. And I've just launched a new network marketing business just over 90 days ago. I don't go to my mentor and be like, what should I do now? And even in my first business, I didn't. I studied it. I found the training. I'm self-led. And yeah, self-leadership and determination and drive would be my 3.
Yeah, that's awesome. And it's so key. It's the thing that I see too, like that there are 3 qualities that are transferable in any space, being like the self-leading, having the hunger, and I forgot the third one you said, hunger and drive. Those 3 things, like, even if I think, like, if I was to break down my character, the backbone of my success, same 3 things.
Yeah.
Because there are days where you just want to give up. Like, you've literally...
There are days I just want to watch Netflix.
I do.
Same now. I've learned to do that now. My coach has taught me that I make more money when I'm not hustling.
Yeah, and then he says that what's that book called? Power versus Force? Is that it? That the one where you're learning to, and there is, because you can feel it. Now I feel it when I'm actually pushing against that line where my drive and my determination is like, you know what, you're actually better off backing off. And when people say, like, you can't make $1 million when you're watching so much Netflix, it's like, I'm living proof. Yes, you can. Yes, you absolutely can. It's what you're doing. Like, it's for me, giving that break is part of the process. But I'd be really curious, like, how did you go from, like, take me on the journey of becoming as magnetic as you have become? What's that journey like for you? Because that really is a journey anywhere. It's transferable to wherever you go, whether it be network marketing or not. But in the context of network marketing, where you're bringing people into the business and then also being a leader for them, how did, like, take me on that journey?
Yeah, so a couple of things. So first off, until probably 4 years ago, like, if I wanted something, I just worked really, really hard until I got it. So, and that's just what I'd learned. And that's particularly drummed into you in the corporate world. And then I started, manifestation and all of that came into my life. And honestly, at first I was like, that's ridiculous. Like, and I paid a coach because I was like, right, everyone's doing this, I should do it. And I remember being on the calls and listening and being like, load of rubbish, because I was so still like corporate. And now I teach. I'm not a manifestation coach, I don't claim to be, but I teach my clients and my team how to create their yes life by writing a yes life script every day and following that and listening, and then recording it and listening to it. And I absolutely believe that you can have anything that you want. You just have to be super clear about what it is, but then you have to be doing the do and be in the right energy to receive it. And so something that I've done in terms of my network marketing business, and I actually just literally coached on this. I've just been in Bali running my first Yes Life retreat.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It was amazing. And I just coached the ladies on this because they were, they're all females and network marketers, females in network marketing. And so years ago, I had an amazing mentor who said to me, well, me as in there was probably thousands of us in a room, I want you to think about who it is that you want in your business. Like, who is your ideal business partner? And we had to write down those 4 or 5 character traits. And I found it really easy. And then we got told to write those on a whiteboard or stick that list up wherever we were working. So we saw it every day. And before I knew it, I was like, oh my gosh, women with those character traits are coming into my business. And that to me was, when someone tells you to do something, or you read a book, or you're just trying something new and then it works, it's just it's confirmation that you need to do more of that thing.
Yeah.
And I, a couple of years ago, decided that I wanted to attract magnetic women into my business and into my life and into my everything. And so I changed my list and got rid of a word, I can't even remember what it was, and put magnetic in there. And I also that year decided that my word for the year would be magnetic. And within a month, people were telling me I am so magnetic. And I literally was like, that was literally a moment that I was like, oh my God, this shit is awesome. Like, I can actually have anything I want. And it was a real cool moment.
Yeah, amazing. I love that you said like you choose a word at the beginning of the year. I do that every year.
Yeah.
This year I have 2. One is grace, and the other is love. And one was more so given to me, I feel, from like my higher self. It was like my being stepping in, which was like exponential growth. And usually like I go the other direction from like exponential growth. I had a partner one year and their goal was 10x growth. And like that kind of like masculine feeling. Just like I couldn't think of anything worse, because and having done like a lot of nervous system regulation work, when you're on that edge of your growth zone, like you're constantly tapping panic zone, which means, your cortisol's through the roof and you're losing over 40% of your IQ within 60 seconds. And like when you're constantly in that space, you're not necessarily making the best decision. So even like this just kept coming through, this exponential growth. It was like all of a sudden, like the timer went off on my soul and was like, right, now it's time to make like even more impact. Not for my own gain, but for what it is that we do within lifestyle. Like more people need access to this, and the only way they can get more access is if I become more visible. And so that was more like one that was given to me, but it's been really interesting, even in the first 60 days of this year, like just watching where my grace has been. I'm really having to be like access my grace. And then love, like also noticing how much love I've just been surrounded with within the last 60 days. And then this exponential growth that's also been happening, which is kind of like, given to me and kind of reluctantly accepted, and watching that also unfold too. So I love that you've put them in there, because the other cool thing that happens, the moment you make a decision, that's the other thing I heard you say that I really loved from a manifestation perspective, make a decision. That's the line in the sand. That's universe. Totally. It's this or above.
Yes.
So but the other thing you said, hang on, where was I going with that? When you do that, when you make the decision and you have something you focus on, your RAS, your reticular activating system in your brain, starts focusing on it, and that's all it can see. Like I had I was in Queensland last week with my friend. We're both like, we're getting so into gym, and she's got these. Have you seen the scrunchy bum pants?
Yes.
Yeah. If you haven't seen scrunchy bum pants, every chick who goes to the gym needs a pair of scrunchy bum pants. Unless you don't want your ass to be stared at, don't get scrunchy bum pants. Anyway, so she had these scrunchy bum pants. And so I bought myself a pair of scrunchy bum pants, but for the whole week, because we were just focusing on like our squats and lunges and our scrunchy bum pants, it's all like, even like all we saw was just like asses up, like constantly. It's like, oh my God. It's just so amazing.
Everywhere.
Yeah, but when you put this into context, in terms of like what you're talking about, like this shift, you make a decision and you decide to be magnetic. All of a sudden, all the magnetic people come because you've decided. And it's not just I decide to be blah. Like it's with all of your being, you make that decision that all of a sudden you just become that.
Yes, with all of your being. That's it.
Yeah, amazing.
The universe, God, whatever it is that you believe in, has no option but to give it to you. This will better, as you said.
Yeah, the moment you believe it with your being.
Yeah.
Because your body the body doesn't lie. If your mind's like, oh, I would like that, but your body's like, I don't believe that, then you're working against yourself. But everything that you've said and how you're talking about this coming magnetic and the drive, the hunger, like this is that line in the sand.
Yeah.
That is the form of the being. The body, like you said, God can't deny. Like once you believe it and embody it, it must give.
And it's and when you start to, like, I shared that, oh my gosh, I just literally had that moment of, oh my gosh, what else could I call into my life? Like, really fun. Like I left my marriage a couple of years ago and moved into a rental, and it was a beautiful rental at the beach, and I live in a beach town, but I'd never lived right at the beach. So then I was like, oh my gosh, I want to live, like, if not right on the beach, like this rental, like I want to be able to see the water from a house that I'd buy. And I gave myself 2 years to buy a home in this beautiful beach town. And, I obviously got working and I launched a coaching business alongside my network marketing business. And I wrote my Yes Life script and recorded it and listened to it every day. And I talked about this home I owned with water views. And 6 months later, I bought that house. And
I remember.
Yeah. And I love that, this town that I lived in, like you could not get a house for under $1 million. Like they didn't exist. And I got a house for just under $1 million. And people are still like, how did you do that? And I'm like, because I demanded it. And
I'm magic.
Yeah. And I just, again, that was another confirmation that, oh my goodness, like this is really exciting and fun and powerful. And I love teaching this and including this when I'm working with my clients and my team. And because it doesn't, like when we work with like energy like that, whatever you want to think about, like it gets to be easy, right? You don't need to be feeling like you're constantly pushing a boulder up a hill. Like that's not fun. I do not want that in my life. I did that for years in corporate.
It's not fun at all.
It's not fun.
No. Tell me, like, being that you've had 2 network marketing businesses now, you're in your 3rd. If I was looking to enter the network marketing business, what are some key things that I would want to look for? And between the 3 network marketing businesses, what's been your greatest lesson thus far?
What I would look for that's really easy to answer. All of the companies that I've partnered with are phenomenal. They've all been around for a long time. That is super important for me. I would never join a startup, a new business. I want to partner with a company that's been around for decades, that has paid absolutely like shit tons of money to the field. Like that's super important to me. I believe passionately that, you need to believe in the product that you're selling, whatever it is. I think that's super important. However, that doesn't mean like I love shoes and clothes, but I'm not going to sell them, right? Like for me, the business model is more important than what I'm selling. Like I'm a businesswoman. So I'm looking at compensation plan above all else. My first network marketing business, I didn't even know this industry. I was introduced to it. I jumped in. I have no regrets. I spent 5 amazing years and went to the top and all the rest of it. And my next business, I knew a bit more. I knew what to look for. This time round, I was super clear that I'm looking for, to be honest, but what I'm not going to tolerate ever again. But I know that I've found my forever home, so I won't ever need to leave, is I want legacy income. I want an income. I want to be able to reach a certain point in the business and be paid for the rest of my life. And then for my son, it goes to my son, Ben, I want him to be paid. whether he works the business or not. And what I didn't know was that I didn't know I was looking for that until I found that. And that is, you know, that's a beautiful thing. And particularly for me after, you know, losing my brother, like I do not walk around every day thinking, oh my God, I might die, because I understand the power of manifestation. But I absolutely know that life can be shorter than we expect sometimes. And I want to ensure that if something happens to me, that Ben has that his lifestyle doesn't change. And he has a beautiful life now. So now, as soon as I saw this, I couldn't unsee it. And I was like, right, that's actually what I've been looking for. And I had no idea.
Yeah, it's amazing. And I think it's important because network marketers work really hard. And there's a lot of, I've seen this within the industry, and like I know who you're partnered with, and we work with a lot of them, and I really love the compensation plans for the same reason. And you see, I've seen more longevity in this business than I have any others. And I think like you see network marketers work really hard to get to a certain level and then burn out. So and not have any, I guess, back support from the company. If you don't make your targets, you don't get paid, kind of thing.
That's right.
What would you, and burnout is a common thing within the network marketing space
Huge.
as well. What if you were to talk to that in terms of managing your own personal energy to avoid that, and how you've created the space where you have this and you don't live on your phone? Like, what would you say like your lessons around that have been, or like your secret in being able to do this in a way where it's not you've left your 9-to-5 job and now you've just bought yourself a 24/7 job?
Yeah, that's right. So for me, that's such an easy question. It's back to self-leadership, but you know, but that's what I look for when I'm, you know, I don't work with everybody anymore. I work with people who can lead themselves and who, you know, they're not going to come to me with every question, because they understand that I have a life as well, and everything that they need is where I've told them it is. So self-leadership is key. Also, giving, like I've had to learn this. I learned it more in my second business. My first business, I didn't burn out, but there was no other box in my life that was like, you know, my network marketing box was the 10 out of 10. It got everything. Everything else got not much at all. And that was fun until it wasn't fun. And then it was detrimental to relationships and all sorts of stuff. And so then when I went into my second business, I was very clear that I was going to leader up my leaders. And yeah, I'm fortunate because I've led teams for years in the corporate world. And so I had those skills, but you can learn those skills. Like you can learn how to lead people. And to be honest, the biggest way to lead someone successfully is to lead yourself well. And then they will model off that. And setting boundaries, like in my, you know, I've only learned this really in the last 2 years, and I have boundaries now. Unless it works for me, or unless it really, really is the only option, I just don't do calls at night anymore. I spent my first 5 years in this industry working around the clock. I just don't work nights and weekends, and I literally work the hours that Ben is at school, but that doesn't mean I work 6 or 7 hours a day, because I don't. I do Pilates in that time, and I might have lunch with someone, or, you know, I just do what needs to be done.
Yeah, I mean, so they're key things, those boundary pieces. And I think anytime somebody's starting a business, and I've had to, similar to you, you kind of start and you just do everything, you take every opportunity to realize maybe that's not the most effective, because I've done it. Business was a 10 out of 10 box, just like you said. And that was great until it wasn't great. And then everything else suffered, because there's a while you can get away from you getting so much dopamine from it. And it's like, it's great. And then all of a sudden you're like, hold on a minute, this is a little bit empty. And I'm suffering.
A little bit alone.
Whoa, But there's I find for me, it's whatever foundation you start something in is the foundation that you grow something in.
Yes.
And we've been fortunate enough to do kind of like people, it's almost like you kind of start a little bit in scarcity. So the foundation is like, there's always scarcity. If it's not scarcity of money, it's scarcity of time, scarcity of energy, something. And then to when you flip it to build that foundation on abundance.
Yes.
Where it's like, what if the whole reason I'm creating this for me is to, so I can live the life that I want to live, but it's a be, do, have kind of model, not a have, do, be. So it's how do I want to experience my life, and then things can slot around that, because we run our calendars the same. Like, I won't have my staff working weekends. I won't allow it. Like, they need to have a life, and even like after hours, you get only like a little bit of that, because again, they've got lives, and people will, if people want something enough, they will arrange it to fit within the hours that are available. The businesses tend to run 9 to 5. So, and if you say that's when what's available, people will find a way if they wanted it.
Yes, exactly. And I think that's a really good point, because, you know, it's a really good test sometimes of how badly someone wants it. And, you know, like the other point that is so important that I didn't talk about, but you just touched on, is like outsourcing. Like, someone said to me recently, oh my gosh, I couldn't do what you do. Like, you're on social media all day, every day. And I was like, oh no, I'm not. Like, that's my team. I have an amazing team. They do, you know, of course, sometimes it's me, but normally it's stuff I've batch created, or I've been in Bali having a photo or a video shoot, and then they take it all and turn it into what it is. And, but you have to also, you have to, like, my team are, like, they are the heart of my business. And, you know, for example, when we were just in Bali, we were so busy organizing that it wasn't until I was there that I realized, oh, the retreat falls over a weekend. And they weren't with me. They're based in the Philippines, but they worked all weekend making sure, like, that things. And then, you know, once the retreat finished, I said to them both, hey, just choose when you want days off and make up for that time, because that's important. Like, they are the heart of my business.
Yeah, I totally get it. I want to break another marketing network myth. And it's that if I go into network marketing, I have to bother all of my friends and family, and then they won't like me anymore.
Oh my gosh, please don't do that. That is my pet peeve. Like, that is actually why I started the Yes Life Money community a couple of years ago, because, like, too many companies still out there today are training their field to write their list of 100 names and spam their friends and family. And it actually pisses me off, because there are some amazing women, who are part of this industry right now and who are about to leave, or who have left already because it didn't work for them, because actually they were taught tactics that I was taught in 2015 that worked really well then, but in 2024 they don't work. And the other group of people are the amazing females out there who won't ever look at this industry because they're bestie, or they've been invited to someone for a cocktail or a wine, and then, you know, they've brought out the whiteboard and they've been sold to, and they're like, oh, I would never touch that industry. So it's my pet peeve. You don't, like, some of my team don't even, like, faceless is probably the wrong word, but they run this business with ads. Like, you don't have to also be on your socials as much as I am, for example, to build a beautiful online leveraged income that eventually, if you stick at it long enough, will become passive. And oh my gosh, please, like, actually, so I live in a little beach town, like I said, and someone said to me recently, I'd like to look at blah, the product that I sell. And I was like, absolutely. And between you and me, I put them onto one of my business partners to deal with, because I still benefit from that, but I don't need to be that person anymore in my beach town. Because I really love that people just know me as Jo. I don't need to be the company that I'm partnered with. I did that for too many years.
Yeah, amazing. I love that. And because I've also I know many people that have done this very successfully. Like, they grew their network marketing business while they were traveling around Australia in their caravan with their kids. And that was their marketing, like that. And it was amazing. It was incredible. I loved watching them do that. There's so many different creative ways that you can create a brand these days. Even if you've got faceless accounts, you don't even have to put your face behind it. Like, one of my best friends, she's growing a whole faceless account at the moment, doing the same thing. And there's just so many different options about how you can do something like this, which is what makes it so exciting.
So many options. I do believe, I had this conversation with my community the other day. I do believe in 2024, if you want to be successful online and in network marketing, that you need to have a brand. I really do believe that. And so, you know, for your listeners listening, if that is an area that you know, if you're not clear on like who you want to work with, who, like even who you are, then you need to get clear on that. And sometimes you need to pay someone to do that. And that's not, I do that, but that's not me pitching my services. Like there's people, I paid someone last year a lot of money in the US to up level my brand, because I was suddenly like, oh my gosh, to call in my next level of clients, of business partners, I need to step into the next level of who I am.
Yeah, I've just done the same thing.
Yeah,
the exact same thing. Because it's you know, your best level of thinking has gotten you to here, and if you want to go beyond it, then you need to get experts until your thinking expands, and it's that continual attrition of growth. Talk to me about your Yes Life Money community. This sounds awesome. I want to know a little bit more about it.
Yes. So my Yes Life Money community is for women in network marketing. And it's actually just expanded very recently to coaches, because I've had some coaches coming to me literally being like, so, and we'll just have this conversation for a sec too, because I think it's important, because I have a coaching business and I love it. But I remember saying to my own coach probably a year ago, you know, I love my coaching. I love that business. You know, I've done over 7 figures in that business, and you know, in just over 18 months, I did that, which is great. But if you're not creating new programs or content, then selling it, then delivering it, you don't make money as a coach. And that's not, I have subscriptions and all the rest of it as well. And I just literally said to her, I just thank goodness I didn't walk away from network marketing, because it is leveraged. And I really do believe that there's the coaching community, the coaching world out there are starting to, there's a bit of an about turn, and they're starting to see that, because a lot of network marketers that weren't making it a couple of years ago, or maybe weren't making it the way that they were before, moved into the coaching world, and have had great success, and have realized now as well that, hey, I want to do this, but maybe I want the leveraged income as well. So my Yes Life Money community teaches everything. I go live every week in there. I run next week. I know that will have passed, but I run things like how to become a sales badass, 3-day challenge. I obviously run retreats. I do lots of giveaways. I provide lots of value on branding, and manifestation, and how to like really step into who you need to be to create that Yes Life money, so that you can live your Yes Life. And it's got 3,500 women in it all over the world.
That's so sexy. And do I need to have a business to be part of that, or I can just go in there?
No, you can totally just come in. I'll make sure that you've got the link. We can invite your audience.
Amazing. I would love to share that with our listeners. I've got another question for you. How do you, being an entrepreneur, so a lot of people go into business and they call themselves an entrepreneur when they've got one business. That is not an entrepreneur. That's a business owner.
Yeah.
An entrepreneur is somebody who has multiple businesses. How do you go maintaining your focus and momentum across all businesses simultaneously? Because this is something I personally struggle with this, because I'm really good, like a singular focus, amazing. But then when I've got to start splitting, like for example, we're about to open Lifestyle Finance New Zealand.
That's good news. Yay.
It's coming. But again, I've got to be able to split my focus enough to be like, Lifestyle Finance is ticking along and everything, all the teams taking care of it, so that I can go do that. And then also at the same time, like I've got other projects within within Foundation that are like wanting to launch as well, but sitting like across all of it and trying to keep eyes and focus on all of it. How do you manage it?
Yeah. So sometimes really badly, to be totally honest. Like literally 90 days ago, I launched a new network marketing business, and I actually, I'll share something with you, which was a mistake. I literally said to myself and my mentors and coach, I was like, right, for 90 days, I'm just going to focus on this new launch. And Yes Life Money, where I sell Sales Badassery is my signature program. I sell Yes Life retreats. I run a community called the Onlinepreneur Club. I just was like, I'll park that and my team will look after things, and I'll still go live and do the things I need to do, but I won't put any energy into it. Well, within about 30 days, I suddenly, the universe just gives you these signs, and I was ignoring them. And then it whacked me around the head, and we don't need to go into it. But I literally was like, and this is why I have multiple income streams and multiple companies. And this is why I every day feel safe and secure. And so then I literally said to my team, okay, there's 5 days in a week. I will focus on my new business launch on these 3 days, and I will focus on my genius business these 2 days. And obviously I'm very fortunate because there's a huge amount of crossover, and I help women to do this, Kelly. Like, I literally have created an infinity funnel, right? So anybody that comes to me and I have a conversation with them, they could join me in my network marketing business and partner with me there, depending on whether they're, what they're doing right now. Or they could come and work with me, and I run a 3-month Own Your Badass one-on-one coaching container. They can come to my retreats. They can buy my programs. So it's a really beautiful infinity funnel. And I teach women to create that, because that's when it's actually easy. That's when it's like, okay, it's a lead, and they go into my Yes Life Money community, and inside of there, everything is there.
Yeah, amazing. I love that, because that you hit the nail on the head. The moment you take your focus off.
Oh, bad. It was bad.
I've done the same things. And there's something different about when I find when the difference is like my energy is the front of the business.
Yeah.
Whether I'm directly the face, I don't have to be the face selling, but my energy needs to be present at the front part of the business. Because the moment I pull that back from there, it's not good. However, I have found I've personally found it's been a little bit like a muscle in growing that. So when I'm looking at things coming through the finance side of things, I very rarely need to look at that. But I've also got a Roger who's just like, we all know and love Roger.
We love Roger.
Yeah, but I think he's built his muscle around, like, this is how many leads are coming to me every day, every week, every month. And I've got the same with Jane, and I've got the same with Laura, that they're both, here's that word again, self-led, highly motivated and hungry.
That's right.
People that now they have their own field of magnetism around that. So I don't have to manage that so much. I just do a meeting with them once a month, support them, and and then my job is just to make their life easier. Exactly. But then the other part, like in the newer part, which is like the growing in terms of connection with our business partners, if my energy, even just if I take the eye off the ball even for a little bit with that one, things slow down. Like, it hasn't, that muscle, that built focus hasn't been established yet. So it's kind of like, I'm like, oh, I've got it. And I go to do my next thing, and then that slows down. I'm like, bloody hell, I'm going to go plug that hole over here. And then it's just really interesting.
I think that is business too. Well, it's entrepreneurship. It is. And, there's a reason why the majority of the world are not going to be true entrepreneurs, which is multiple businesses, because it takes something. It sounds really sexy. Like, I'm not going to lie, I love it, but it's really can be very challenging.
Yeah. Oh, look, when it's working, it's fabulous. It is the best. You feel like you're on top of the world. Everything's flowing. It's amazing. And then, but when it's not, and then if a couple of them aren't working at the same time,
that's right.
Yeah, amazing. Now I always like to ask my audience this, not my audience, my guests, this one particular question, because one thing that I've been, like, my intention behind the show is just normalizing that not everybody goes into business and is a success on their first shot. And sometimes they might fail several times before they get there. So my question is, before you got to this point of like hitting 7 figures and consistently hitting 7 figures, like, how many failed businesses were there? Or how many like failed, false starts might be a better.
I'll be honest, it's probably going to sound annoying, but I haven't had a failed business. But I've definitely had, you know, as I get more experienced as an entrepreneur and as a business owner, I make better choices and better decisions that create faster success in the businesses and companies that I do have. And I make different decisions about, you know, for example, the network marketing company that I've partnered with. Like, I looked at that business 4 years ago, but I didn't look at it with the due diligence that I looked at it 8 months ago, you know. And so I know that I have grown as a business owner, and I just knew different things to look for, I guess. I don't know if that helps.
No, it's also, so I've had a mix with this question. Some of them are like, oh my God, I got it. Like, there was this many things before. And that's where, you know, where the tenacity and the resilience gets built. And then sometimes where, like, some people have chosen something and just stuck with it long enough until they've been successful. But in that, they've had to, like, chop down some trees. As in, there's times where they could have, other people would have, like, quit there and failed and then gone on to something else. But others where it's like, well, I haven't. I've just stayed the course.
Yeah. So look, I guess now that you've put it that way, I've walked away from 2 network marketing businesses. Like,
Oops.
Yeah. So I haven't had a failed business per se, but I've had businesses that have not been going as well as they were. And I've had the I guess the business nous, and also I'm grateful that I've had the intuition to tell me to get out, and that I've followed my gut. And, you know, when you're a top network marketer and you walk away from a business, you don't, like, it's not like corporate where you leave and you get a nice cake and a party and champagne. It's definitely not like that.
And some money.
Some money, yeah. You walk away and you get nothing, and you cut your income. Like, you're literally walking away with nothing. And I've done that twice, because I have backed myself like 1,000,000%. I know exactly what I can achieve. And, you know, I know not to look in like the rear view mirror, but I'm very good at, I did due diligence in corporate. I used to manage mergers and acquisitions for big companies. So I see the writing on the wall of when a business stops maybe working as well as it did really fast. And then I action that. And I've done that twice. And I'm so grateful that I did, on both occasions.
Gosh, what amazing, like, previous experience to take into something like this. Unique too, because it's one of those things that people can get really stuck in that.
Yeah.
Sometimes, like, what it costs to stay is way more than what it costs to leave. Like, what an incredible gift that you've been able to bring across with that.
Yeah, I am so grateful to my previous business skills and years of experience, and more recently, you know, trusting, much self-trust, like really listening. I heard the other day, I can't remember, it could have been, actually, I've just finished listening to You're a Badass at Making Money.
Is that the Amanda Francis one?
No, Jen, that's terrible that now I can't remember her last name.
I think I've seen this one as well. I think I know the book you're talking about.
Yeah, You're a Badass at Making Money. It's one of the best books I've listened to in a really long time. I've got my whole team reading it right now. My bestie, my sister, like, it's brilliant. But she really talks about how, you know, those downloads that you get, mine always come in the shower, probably because I'm not on my phone. And like, they are actually, like, they are little magic, like, miracles if you act on them. And if you don't, well, that's your loss, because one of them potentially is like that $1 million idea that you've been searching for. And for me, I know I literally was in the shower a number of months ago when I just was like, I need to leave and I need to do it fast. And I acted on it, and it's so scary. But it's true what they say, like, everything that you've always wanted, is on the other side of doing the really scary shit. And, you know, when you're I'm not a single mum in the sense, you know, my son's dad co-parents and we're amazing together, but I'm responsible for me financially 100%. And when you walk away from an income, it's really scary.
Yeah.
But when you back yourself, it's less scary.
God, I really want to commend you and acknowledge you for that, because most people don't make a change until their fear or their staying there becomes more painful and overrides their fear of making the change. Like they wait till their back's against the wall. And I once, as somebody I interviewed, like at the very early parts of the Lifestyle Finance show, she was saying how her rule is whatever, like the biggest density she feels within her business, the moment she starts to feel it, she forces herself to act upon it. Because if that's left, it just becomes a hindrance.
Yes, that's so true. Oh, I love that. Yeah, that's key. That's genius.
Yeah, I've actually started to adopt it too. My God, is it uncomfortable though?
Of course it is. It's natural that like we're so busy and there's so many balls and that the human, like it's normal to wait until something's really fucking uncomfortable to deal with it, right?
Yeah.
So I love that she's like, no, you deal with it when it starts to get uncomfortable.
Yeah, you do. As soon as you start to feel that it is the weight within the business, you act on it. There is no, and I was like, oh man, like, yep, I'm going to take that on. And I have since, and it has definitely made a significant difference. But boy, has it had me shift as a leader, like in terms of what I've had to resource within me to act upon that has been huge. So next question. I know that you've had a book that's launched today, being International Women's Day. The book is Rise Up, and you've got your Yes Life chapter in there. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes. So a few months ago, actually, I'll go back a tiny bit. So about a year ago, I was on an airplane flying to a business event, and I was in a toilet cubicle. And I've never wanted to write a book ever in my life. That just felt like hard work. And I'm not into hard work. And I was in the toilet cubicle, and I literally had this download that I needed to write a book. And I was like, that's ridiculous. And went back to my seat and but it just wouldn't leave my mind. And then I sat there and I thought, wow, what if I wrote a Yes Life book? And what if the world did want to hear about it? And I literally on that trip started writing and just wrote a few thousand words. And then that awful, beautiful imposter syndrome kicked in, and I stopped writing because I was like, who do I think I am? Like, I am not an author. Like, who would want to read my story and my book? And I stopped. And I don't normally do that, but it was too hard. And then about 6 months ago, I was invited to collaborate with 22 other female entrepreneurs in a book that launches today, International Women's Day, called Rise Up. And we all got to contribute a chapter, you know, on whatever we wanted to do with our business, you know, our story, whatever would inspire other women to rise up. And so I literally, when I was invited, my first thought was, oh, wow, I wonder what I've already written will probably be relevant. And we needed 3,000 words for our chapter. And I went to my Google Doc, and what I had written was 3,017 words. And I was like, that is freaking genius. Thank you, universe. So I barely had to, you know, my team just finessed it and turned it into something amazing, which they're great at. And that book comes out today. And being part of that, and I'll make sure that your listeners have got the link if they want to read my chapter.
I would love that.
Yes, and read all the other chapters. It's a beautiful book. It's literally a book that will, you know, when you read it, whether you like it or not, it will force you to look at, I guess, your life and your business and be like, what could I be doing differently? What could I be doing more of, less of? Like, how can I really squeeze the juice out of my life more? Which is what I'm all about. And that was such an amazing experience that I've engaged that same publisher to publish my full Yes Life book later this year.
Oh, wow. That's amazing, Jo. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I didn't know about the full book. I like how you just slipped that one in there.
I know. So I've started
That's so exciting.
It is really, really exciting. And I really feel, I feel ready for that now. I feel like imposter. I'm like, get lost.
Success in 3 other businesses and now on your 3rd network marketing business. I think that you've got something to say.
Yeah, me too.
I think there's a little bit of wisdom in there.
Yeah. Exactly.
Me, that's so exciting. I look forward to supporting that when it comes out and enjoying like the juices and the magic in the pages. This has been so much fun, Jo. If one of our listeners, or more than one, but if some of our listeners have been like, gosh, there's been things that you've spoken about in network marketing that's cleared up a few things, or I would really like some support with being able to manage my multiple businesses, or they've just really deeply resonated with something that you've said and they want to get in contact with you and get a little bit more of the Jo experience, what's the best way for them to get in contact with you?
Yeah, they should come and be part of my Yes Life Money community. It's beautiful. I'll make sure that you've got the link. And my Instagram is Yes Life Money with Jo. And come and hang out and I'll follow you and we'll just support each other because I believe that's what this is all about, right?
Yeah. Together, well, it's women, together we rise. Yeah, it is right. There's a co-collaboration with women. Like it's not a like a you or me. Everybody goes together or we don't go at all.
It's all of us. Yeah.
Yeah, amazing. Thank you so much. So I'm going to put those links for our beautiful listeners. There's going to be links to the Yes Life Money group. There's going to be links to your Insta handle. So you'll be able to find it. If you don't know, just reach out to me. I will make sure that you guys connect. Jo, it has been such a pleasure and an honor to have you on the show. From my heart to yours. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kelly. And before we finish, can I just say something about lifestyle finance?
Yeah. Oh, yes. I would love for you to chat about lifestyle finance.
I love you and your team and what you do, Kelly, because, you know, I've worked with lifestyle finance for over 2 years. So I love lifestyle finance and you and your team. I've worked with you guys for over 2 years now. My coaching business, you guys have helped so many network marketers to finance working with me and my team in our programs, coming to retreats, working with me one-on-one, whatever it is. And it's a pleasure working with you guys. It's a pleasure working with Roger and Laura and yourself. And, you know, you guys have taught me the power of leveraging other people's money to make money. Like that is key. And now in my new network marketing business, straight away, I was like, Kelly, this is what I'm doing now. I need you to help me here. And you guys and the pace and the care at which you help my new business partners to get funding to join me is exactly why I'm having the, you know, going at the speed that I am and that my team are. So I'm super grateful for you guys. And it's so funny that you're looking, you know, that you're opening lifestyle finance in New Zealand, because I just messaged Roger yesterday and said, I need you in New Zealand. And he was like, soon. I was like, okay, I'll find someone else for now.
Yeah, so check out, for now, I would check out Harmoney. So like HARMONEY. They're just a personal loan provider.
That's exactly what we've done.
We will eventually have them be able to manage the whole lot.
Exactly. But yeah,
start there. And thank you so much for all those beautiful words. I've loved working with you from that very first phone call. Yeah, so it's been an absolute pleasure working with you from the beginning of that first phone call and watching you grow and see you through different phases of the different businesses that you have. And particularly this last one, like just seeing you thrive and how quickly that you've grown, it truly is a testament that when you apply yourself to these network marketing businesses where they do have great compensation plans and killer products, it's got to be great compensation plan and killer products. You really can grow exponentially very quickly.
You can. It's why it's my industry of choice. I love it. And I love my life, and I'm so grateful to have been able to come and share a tiny bit of it with you and your audience.
Amazing. Thank you so much. And to our beautiful listeners, if you've loved this, if you've resonated with something, remember we're not a paid show. Our love gets around because you love us. So feel free to tag any friends, share it, give it a love heart. I love you so much, and I will see you on the next episode. Mwah.
Thank you for listening to the Lifestyle Finance Show. If you loved this interview, please feel free to share it, because if it made a difference to you, it will absolutely make a difference to others. And if you are a coach, healer, or mentor, and you'd like to explore getting finance set up for your business so you can get paid in full from day one and financially support your clients in a far greater capacity than just your in-house payment plan, head over to my website, www.lifestylefinanceco.com, and follow the prompts so we can explore this further. Big love, beautiful soul, and thanks for the support.